Hi, Amir. Good afternoon.
Yo, good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really, really excited to finally had the chance to have a one-on-one with you.
Me too. I'm excited to have one with you. I had
Thank
a
you. Thank you.
had a very quick question for you.
Yeah.
I realized that to go from starter to vice president in 7 years, there's only two ways to do it. You can either
Uh,
work very hard for 7 years and everybody else resigns, or work very hard and do something exceptional that changes the company and continue for 7 years. What did you
um,
do?
I, I think it's the latter with a little bit of luck, I guess.
Okay. So what did you do that made the big difference to your company?
Oh well, I just have this mindset that whatever they throw at me, I'll just do it. I'll just do it with 100% effort that I can. And I also have this like principle in life where instead of, I mean, working hard is bad, not bad at all, but I do actually try to look into this thing they called work smart than working hard. So
Right.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm not entirely sure if the philosophy that I'm trying to follow is correct, but I think so far it's working for me. So yeah.
Wow. So when you said you worked smart, what did you do that your predecessors didn't do?
Probably, I mean, the number one thing that I didn't do at all is I did not complain. I didn't complain. Whatever the my boss or the president gives me, whatever the task it is, I did not complain. I just, sure, boss, I'll do my best. I'll try my best. I'll do my best.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you started, how many people were in the company 7 years ago when you started?
There were like, s- I think 20, 20. It's up and down. To be honest with you, sometimes we have more, sometimes we have less. It actually depends on the clients that we are working with. But yeah, we started from 20, then we were down to three. There was a time that I was the only, there are only three of us, me and two other persons, which are not here with me anymore. So yeah, and we rose up to 60, and now we are almost 55, 60 uh,
Wow.
employees here. Yep.
So have you got 55 employees and you're less busy, or 55 employees and you're busier?
I think it's, I think it's a bit, it's mixed. Sometimes I'm busier than usual, but there are times that I do have idle time. Yep.
Okay. So what from the World Wide Web has
Mm-hmm.
got massive companies that like Fiverr and
Mm-hmm.
specialist VA companies, as well as companies that are in recruitment that are out there to find, especially for financial institutions, to
Mm-hmm.
find the best staff that would cover the roles of assistants, virtual assistants, and even the whole workforce. What makes your company stand out?
Okay, that's a very good question. So first and foremost is the transparency. We are very transparent. Whatever happens, whatever anything that can happen in the campaign, we are very transparent. We tell all our clients that this happened and that happened. And also, we do not promise them high heavens. We do not promise them like 100% you will earn like $100 million from us. No, we just like our principle is basically to give them an honest and reputable work. And one of the edges that we have over other companies is that we train everyone from the ground, from the basics until they learned how to do things, to do the work exactly. And they are being we have a couple of like what do you call this, like supervisors that looks after each and every team, and the supervisors reports to a team manager, and the team manager basically reports to us, the higher end.
So, from a very broad brushstroke, would you say that there's three categories you work in? One is sales, one is customer service, and one is advertising and marketing. Would that be accurate?
Yes. Mhm. Yep.
Which one do you feel that if there is a balance, if it's exactly 33, 33, 33,
Hmm.
do you feel that one of them is more suitable for your team, or are all three of them just as evenly suitable?
Okay, so basically, um, we believe that each person has their own strengths. Some some staff members that we have are very good with like assisting customers or customer support. Some are like really, really good with like persuading people. Persuading people, are you interested to like to give in regards to sales and whatnot. And some are really, really good with content creation, digital marketing, advertising and whatnot. So we have dedicated teams for each and every avenue that you mentioned. And yeah, I would say it varies.
Okay.
Hmm.
So from the, say, 57 of you, is there 19 that are good at marketing and 19 that are good at sales and 19 that are good at service? Or are you skewed more towards one as a group of your 55 to 57 people than to the other?
Actually, we do not have the exact number of how many people are good with like, or we do not like have an exact number that we are targeting on. There should something like there should be like 20 people that are really good with customer service. It's just that whenever we do like whenever we start like our employment or hiring, um, we just like look at their resumes, look at their skills, look at their attitudes, and what on if they are good in sales, they will be put into the sales team. If they are good in customer support, they will be put in the customer support. But nevertheless, we also train. We basically have a like a general training package here, or a general training material here that we train everybody. And if we find that this person is like suitable for customer service, then we prepare them for a customer service account. And same goes through the other skill sets.
Okay, wow.
Hmm.
So I guess the elephant in the room to a few of the virtual assistants is artificial intelligence.
Um, Probably. To be honest with you, in regards to artificial intelligence, I think it will overtake the business in a couple of years, maybe 10 to 15 years. But we're still trying our best to, uh, as long as we are still relevant, or I mean the industry is still relevant.
Well, I'm strongly pro-human, so I'm pro-human. But my team, so today I was working at Fish Burners in Sydney,
Uh-huh.
and I know that you're coming up to Sydney this year, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Really, really excited.
I'm looking forward to introducing you to my office. And there's about 250 people that work in the larger office, but my team's a small team within the big team. But
Oh,
the three of us today, we use three computers, and I don't know how many different AIs. I think at any one stage there was at least three. So for the three humans, there was three AIs that each one of the computers was using,
mm-hmm,
and we made, designed, and finished and published 18 videos today, and each one had titles and this and that. So it was a massive group of effort from the three humans, but we were
uh-huh,
looking at we're not there to just work with AI. We have the same customer
uh-huh,
service idea and the same customers that we're talking to as we did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and 20 years ago.
uh-huh.
The difference is now when we produce, oh,
Yeah, really sorry about that.
lost you there for a sec.
Yeah.
When we produce something, the content that we've typed and spoken and recorded gets chopped up and fixed to the level that we want much faster. So
Mm-hmm.
the volume we're producing on the end is higher.
Mm, okay.
It hasn't changed the size of the team. We're still the three of us in Sydney. So
Mm,
the size of the team hasn't changed, but now the product looks better, is produced faster, and has more relevant content and automatically cuts out the irrelevant stuff. So I
mm-hmm.
find that we're more efficient. How do you find AI's helped with your efficiency?
Um, I personally believe that AI is the next thing for this kind of industry. And to be honest with you, we haven't tapped into AI yet. All of us here, like, we haven't done anything AI related yet. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, fair enough. So we're doing three different AI systems. One is on the ChatGPT style of conversation.
Uh-huh.
Another one's an automatic video editing software. And the third one produces original videos and photos for us
Uh-huh.
to use as content within slideshows, within videos, and also when we're answering clients.
Mm-hmm.
So between the three different AIs, we're actually finding that there's stuff that we all know how to design and do, but because we teach it,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it does what we tell them.
Yeah. Well, in regards to AI, I've been like seeing a lot of like advertisements in regards to AI that they can do this content creation, even like image creation. I've seen it, but I think that our edge again over AI at this point of time is like our customer support and our sales department at this point of time, but probably it will take over sometime soon.
Well, this is how I feel about it. I feel that from a customer service point of view, from a sales point of view, and from an advertising point of view,
Hmm.
AI is a tool, but somebody needs to program the tool.
Yeah. Hmm.
The better human you have on one side that's training the AI, the better
Hmm.
results the customer has.
Yeah.
I think that's the same with virtual assistants,
Hmm.
where as a virtual assistant, when you have a new client, you might spend the first 3 months getting to know them. Yes, you're
Hmm.
actively working for the first 3 months, so you're getting results for them. But
Hmm.
the big difference is after 3 months, some of your tasks, maybe 20%, maybe 80% of your tasks become automated because you know when they say launch a campaign, they don't explain to you things from the beginning. They go,
Yeah.
yes, just like last month, just like the month before, launch a campaign.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
because the virtual assistant has been trained on the words to use, the words to avoid, the categories to use, and the categories to avoid, that's what you, as the VA, would use to program the AI to produce faster results and more of them.
Hmm.
So, I still think that you've trained leadership roles within your company that become the supervisors and become the trainers of the new recruits.
Hmm.
The next step is for somebody like a business owner like me to train your team leader to know how to assess situations and make a decision to go left or right. And then your team leader simply puts that information into the AI descriptor. They call that prompting. So you
Prompting.
prompt the AI to teach them how you want it done,
Hmm.
but then your team leader does the same thing with the people they're training, so that instead of having to train everybody from the beginning, you're training maybe three systems and saying, instead of using Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, or Photoshop, Premiere, and Final Cut Pro, you're teaching three different programs, which are just another tool, AI1, AI2, AI3. And
Hmm.
from that, you're getting the best and highest use of your time. But also for the end user who's using your services, they don't need to learn how to do the AI because the three people in your team have the knowledge to do the AI.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It sounds very efficient, to be honest with you, compared with the current system that we have here. And as I've said, we haven't like checked what we can do with AI, but since you brought it up and since that it's basically all over the internet, then we can probably take a look at it.
I think that there's good that'll come of it.
Hmm.
It's better for you to have a look at it when somebody's paying. So if you get a paying client, then you explain to them why they should spend time training your team on AI and get them to say, yes,
Uh-huh.
we prefer to use this particular AI, and then your team learns it. Instead of using
Oh,
your own time,
yeah.
use it when a client says, hey, we need to do this type of design, then you
Uh-huh.
find the AI that does that design.
Are you offering that kind of training?
I'm thinking of that.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Okay then. Well, I do have a question, Amir, about your business. So you mentioned, I mean, based from the meetings that with Edward and the team in the gang, you are a house buyer, right? So how do you acquire leads?
So the funny thing about being a house buyer is I need 6 customers a year.
Hmm.
That's all.
That's all.
So the majority of my time is talking to somebody that I spoke to 3 years ago,
Mm.
and I'm constantly showing the profits that I've made for other customers. So I show the testimonials, and from that, people that have known me, I've been in the industry for 23 years. So from in 23 years, I've been over well over 1,000 auctions. I always wear the gold tie and the black shirt. So I have a recognizable brand in the business, but people don't care about my business card. They care about how much money I can make for them.
Yeah.
So needing 6 customers means that the history of people that have known me for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, when they make their choice to buy a house and they only do it 3 times in their life, they come to me.
Mm.
A lot of it's
Yeah.
from referral. I've had one client now that's on their 5th house with me. When they met
Wow.
me, they've never bought a house before. They were a first home buyer. They met me for the first time only 3 years ago.
So,
Now they're on their fifth.
wow, that's
So,
amazing.
yeah, but it means that I'm not after customer acquisition. But what I do is I like to make sure that I'm serving the people that I want to serve. So I've now niched down. So when I'm looking for a new client, I look for somebody who isn't buying their first unit. They're not buying a $200,000 house. They're really buying from 1 million to 5 million, and they're buying somewhere on the coast, on the east coast of Australia. And actually, one of my conversations with 𝗘𝘇𝗲𝗍𝗶𝗲𝗹 about 4 years ago was him interviewing me on how I got started 10 years before that. But I realized while he was asking me the questions that if I want to continue doing the same job until I'm 95 years old, I prefer to work on the beach because I love the beach. So I suggested during that interview, and it was at Darling Harbour with a big yellow influencer chair behind us. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if that influenced my gold tie or if my gold tie influenced the yellow chair, but that's another story. I realized that when winter comes, I want to leave from Sydney and go up to Queensland because it's so much hotter in Queensland. So I said,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what, from now on, every June, every winter, I want to fly up to winter and do some sort of conference there so that I've got an excuse to get away from the cold. And I've been doing that ever since I said that. Every year I've been doing yearly conferences in Queensland, in Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Brisbane. So once you get to the stage where your business is reasonably stable, you get to design how you want to work and who you want to serve. And that's been the most fun for me because I meet people at these functions. So tomorrow is the 𝗘𝘃𝗍𝗶𝗲𝗍 live event, and there'll probably be between 50 and 100 people at that gathering.
Wow.
But
That,
from that 50 to 100 people, I might just find one client that I actually really want to work with, and they like what I do. They really want to buy a house on the beach, on one of the beaches on the east coast of Australia. So I'm not looking for 100, but if one of them turns around and they've got an exciting story and they fit who I want to work with and they want to work with me, that's enough.
wow, that's amazing. Well, I just want to highlight that the thing you mentioned earlier, you observe who you want to serve. That's really powerful. Wow.
I love that. I love that. I
Wow.
learned that early on, but absolutely love that.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm not sure if we still have time because as I've seen with in a Zoom meeting, you only have like 20 minutes right now. So,
I'm paying for the professionals so they don't kick me off, but I do have another engagement after this. So I do.
oh, okay. Okay, okay, I see. Well, Amir, it's been a pleasure finally to have a one-on-one with you. I learned a lot for in the short span of 20 minutes. Wow. Hopefully we can apply this in our business, and hopefully I can talk to you more if you have time in the future, and hopefully once we are in Sydney we can have like a conversation, even if just a short one. I'm pretty sure my boss would like pick a two pick one or two like things from you because you are so well, you're so smart. That's what I'm trying to say here.
You're making me blush.
No, no, it's real. It's real. Ever since I've seen you from the beginning, when the first time I joined Edward's Zoom meeting, I found you, or I find you like really smart, and you are like the ones who are sticking out in terms of when you're saying something, and you're very well spoken.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. I appreciate that. I really do.
Likewise. Well, thank you so much, Amir, for your time. I won't take too much of your time. Stay safe and have a wonderful day. I look forward